Welcome to Sly Media TV. My name is Shorai Murwira, and today, as we commemorate International Women's Day, we are joined by Miss Ekenia Chifamba, the founding director of Shamwari Mwanaskana in Zimbabwe. Miss Ekenia Chifamba, thank you for affording us this interview. Okay, can you please tell us briefly your work in advocating for girls' rights in Zimbabwe?
So Shamwari Mwanaskana is a pro-distinct girl child empowerment and development organization, and our work is mandated around providing equal spaces, equal opportunities, and provision of resources towards girl child development. And if we are to summarize the work that we are doing as an organization to create those spaces and to provide for those opportunities, is through our 4 key pillars, which are leadership, child protection, entrepreneurship, and also sexual reproductive health and rights. But also to say that the work that we are doing is not being done in isolation. We leave no one behind in the efforts that we are making to create safe spaces and also creating opportunities for the young women and girls in Zimbabwe. So we've got flagships that we have set in place that we are working with to ensure that we achieve towards our key goal. We have got Dandaro Rewaskana, a community clubs initiative, a safe space for girls to deliberate on issues that affect them. We've got Darere Machinda, gender equality conversations with men and boys. The Shamwari Child Rights Clubs in schools for both boys and girls. We've got our Tsokadze Shamwari, volunteers that we work with in different areas of operation, including traditional and religious leaders, but also a multi-stakeholder approach, because the work that we do, we are complementing government's efforts.
I understand that you also deal with teenage pregnancies, girls who are being sexually abused in the society. Can you maybe tell us, in your own assessment, how many girls are being sexually abused or who have teenage pregnancies?
So I'm sure you have seen shocking statistics that have come up at different levels, different platforms. Recent statistics that were shared by UNICEF, Zimstats, of young women and girls who are being burdened with the role of motherhood at a tender age. And I know we're always referring to the stats usually shared by UNFPA, the 1 in every 3 women who have experienced sexual violence in their lives, but also for Shamwari Mwanaskana. In our 5 provinces of operation, on average, we are receiving about 6 cases of sexual violence on a daily basis. And these are cases that are coming directly to our doorsteps and that we are receiving through referrals that are coming through to Shamwari and our various social media platforms, including our hotline. But there are also cases that are undocumented that also come through other platforms that would also, at the end of the day, allow for more cases that are actually being received on a daily basis, the undocumented ones.
Do you think the government is going with enough space to help in advocating for these girls who are being sexually abused? Talking about achieving goal number 5 of the SDGs.
So we have seen efforts that the government has been making in ensuring that we create safe spaces for young women and girls, but also specific issues like SDG number 5 that you have spoken about. We know a lot has been done to address the gaps that are in existence as far as our policies are concerned. The recent enactment of the SI policy around age of consent, that also has been hindering equal spaces and opportunities for young women and girls, and a huge setback. We know of the Children's Rights Act, we know of the Marriages Act, we know of the Education Amendment Act that has allowed for opportunities for both boys and girls to remain in school. But I know that we also have seen initiatives that have been done through various ministries, the Ministry of Women Affairs, vocational training services that are being provided for our youths, both boys and girls, and also the youth banks and also Zimbabwe Women's Bank that is also providing the loan facilities for women and also men to have access to resources that would allow for them to eradicate poverty, which at the end of the day also hinders SDG number 5. We have seen the government also introducing the He for She campaign that's being done by Ministry of Women Affairs in partnership with development partners and civil society organizations like us and other like-minded organizations and colleagues. We have seen opportunities that have been created also even within the workspace, the introduction of the sexual harassment policy, something that is being utilized and used at a national level that allows also for equal opportunities, conversations around unpaid care work, which is something that we have seen even with campaigns that we have been doing as Shamwari at public water collecting points, where the burden of fetching water is usually with women who are also expected to do other a whole lot of initiatives back at home, and yet it's not considered as work that they are doing as the day progresses. But then we also feel that there are other gaps that are still in existence that also need to be considered and also to be catered for, especially looking at the Women's Month and looking at also our theme of inclusivity and also provision of spaces. Our hope is that the policies that have been introduced should be properly monitored. These policies as well, the stories of change that are being realized should also be properly documented. We know we've got independent commissions, the Gender Commission, the Anti-Domestic Violence Council that are there. Those should be utilized to ensure that once these policies are properly implemented and monitored, it allows for SDG 5 to be properly implemented as well. We are looking also at issues like the child marriages that we have seen, the statistics that are shocking, that are hindering the development of our young women and girls who are losing their lives whilst giving birth, girls who are losing their young ones, issues of neonatal and maternal deaths, issues of mental wellness. There are so many issues, girls who are staying out of school. We spoke about the Education Amendment Act. Our hope is that more awareness raising should be done around such, and also more information dissemination around such as well, so that we have more girls staying in school and we're giving equal opportunities to both boys and girls to access quality education, because we are referring to them as the future. Remember, it's not just about SDG 5. We are talking about SDG 1. We are referring to SDG 3. We are referring to SDG number 13. Right now, we are struggling with the rains which are not coming. We're already talking about climate change. So we can never achieve SDG 5 without involving others. But also a change of attitude for our men and boys, and that's something also that can be facilitated not only by the government but also within our communities as well. So awareness raising, information dissemination, implementation of policies, a multi-stakeholder approach that would allow for this, so that we've got those equal opportunities and spaces in areas of governance, in areas of agriculture, in areas of mining, in areas, all areas actually, to ensure that we've got those opportunities being given to both men and women, the girls and the boys as well. For me, it's a conversation where we need to look at the availability of opportunities, spaces, and distribution of resources at different levels. Remember, we spoke about policies, we spoke about communities, we spoke about even the workspace. We are looking at the social, the political, and the economic divide. How has it been like? That opportunity of allowing for even seasoned women who have made it at different levels. This is what it means for us as Shamwari Mwanaskana, seasoned women who have made it at different levels as leaders, agriculture, mining, STEM, decision making, so that at the end of the day, we have sustainability, we have accountability, we are creating the future, the tomorrow, and also to allow for issues around child protection to be conversed around. It starts with the home setup. What is it that we are doing as families? Remember, perpetrators are usually close family members. And what is it that we are doing as families to allow for such positive parenting? Yes, we've got the economic crisis at hand, but what is it that we are doing as parents to ensure that we protect our children from all forms of harm that might actually befall them? We are reflecting on how bad the situation has been like in spaces of worship. I don't know if you saw the headline yesterday about Mazbaba Ishmael, and I actually passed a comment around it. How we are struggling with spaces of worship which are supposed to be safe spaces where sanity is maintained and peace and conversations around developmental issues. And these are the same spaces where women and girls are actually taken advantage of. It starts with those conversations for churches to be regulated, for churches to be accountable, for churches to restore that accountability element that is bestowed upon them by the societies at large. We need to bring back what we used to know of. I know growing up, I grew up in Chitungwiza, and people would always say, "Mwana ndiwe munhu wese." So we need to actually acknowledge and uphold that. Some time back, we saw a story that made noise in Bindura. Two young girls below the ages of 18 married to one adult man. But, neighbors would continue with their lives, business as usual, not saying about anything about it until one of them passed on. And then they then decided to raise the flag to say, we've got a situation at hand that needs urgent attention. I think we also need to look into those issues. We also need to look into issues of active participation of men and boys as agents of change, as game changers. It starts from the school set up, how the boys view their young girls as counterparts, as equals in sporting activities, in activities of learning, whatever it is that they are doing. Children's rights that are upheld at that particular level. Also, I think looking at our ways of doing things within the home setup, within the workspace as well, issues of sexual harassment that we spoke about. So it's looking at all those elements, ensuring that at the end of the day, we are acknowledging that it's not a race. At the end of the day, we are just demanding equal spaces and those opportunities at different levels, at different divides, but also acknowledging that there are those who already have the powers, who can make decisions, but giving the girls also a seat at the decision-making table so that they actually take charge of their future, of their tomorrow, knowing that they are being considered at all levels. I'm also happy and excited to have been acknowledged and recognized for the work that I'm doing towards advocating for young women and girls' rights across the globe. I have got awards and recognitions at a local level, at a regional level, and at an international level. Just maybe to mention a few, FOIA, the Southern African Founder of the Year nomination, which is the recent one, the 40 Great Zimbabweans, 50 Most Inspirational Zimbabwean Women, Paul Foundation Phenomenal African Women Awards, Giraffe Hero. I've been awarded also for being amongst the 10 outstanding young people who are making a difference in Zimbabwe and beyond. There's a book that was written by a local, Trish Carter, who did a book around 100 phenomenal women in Zimbabwe. So quite a number of these awards, but also to say that my story has been featured on influential blogs like the Meridian Watch in USA, the Guardian in United Kingdom, I've done interviews on various media platforms, including the Netherlands newspaper, SABC TV. I have done for China TV. I don't know if you saw the recent publication on the child marriage situation in Zimbabwe, which was also featured on BBC. I've done quite a number of fellowships that have also helped me to upskill my work, working with girls. I have done work. I've done fellowships with Where Do. It's a leadership initiative. I'm a current Gratitude Network Fellow, IVLP, the US. It would be good also to mention boards that I am sitting on. Spotlight initiated civil society reference group where I represent the children's rights sector. Civicus Alliance International. I'm the current board secretary. SAPA, Southern African Alcohol Policy. I sit on their board, the regional one, and also the local one. I am currently chairing the MFA grant Finland for a local organization called Zikwa Trust. I sit on Nango Northern Region Board. Quite a number of these boards, including Perfection Media and others. So I always say that it's not something to brag about, because these are not awards that we get with our own efforts or our own commitment. It takes a lot of support from the beneficiaries, the girls themselves, the stakeholders that we work with. It's support that we get even from unknown followers and supporters who actually acknowledge and appreciate the work that we do within our different fields. And today it's the International Women's Day. I just woke up to actually realize that my story was also produced by UNOCHA, United Nations, amongst the 8 women who are making a difference worldwide. So that also keeps me going.